Hey all, Traveler 6 here, in the nice cold north, in Indiana. Uh, yeah, it's pretty freaking cold. I mean, it's up in the 20s, but cold enough. And as you see, that snowbank there, yeah, it's partially plowed and stuff, but that's about waist height. And the drift on the other side is equally about. So, yeah, it's pretty nasty. I'm just trying to walk over to a gas station, get me something to drink, because last night when I worked my way to the store, when I got there, all the 2 liters had been almost all bought out. All that was left was like diet. So it's like, really, people? Normally the bread is bought out and milk and stuff like that. Nope, not this time. Shelves were stocked with bread. I mean, lots of bread. Everybody bought the 2 liters. The other thing everybody bought was, for some reason, tortilla chips. There wasn't a bag of regular tortilla chips left in the entire store. And this ain't some small name, little store or discount store. This was Save-A-Lot. Or not Save-A-Lot, Kroger. Had nothing. When it came to tortilla chips. So, yeah, messed up. But I would walk over there. But give you an example of how deep it is. Here, just a quick example of how deep the sidewalk snow is. Yeah, it's upside down, but that's about there on my leg. So, yeah, walking on the sidewalk that's buried, not an entirely good option. So, in the road it is, risky myself. Oh, ain't it great? Ain't it grand? And back in the road. Yeah, normally this trip would be a lot shorter, but right now, having to go the long way, so I don't have to walk through knee-high snow and waist-high snow drifts today. But yeah, gotta love Indiana weather. For those of you out on the streets that may be watching this on your, if you got a smartphone or when you're housed up or whatever, lucky enough to get a house to stay in, couch to crash on, whatever. Hope you're staying warm. Stay safe out there. It's cold enough. For those of you on the street, yeah, just stay warm. Use what knowledge you have to set up your tent, put blankets and tarps over it, use a little alcohol heater, something like that. For the rest of you, yeah, stay warm, stay dry. Yep. Still taking a slight shortcut. And not many people take in this area. But so, anybody catch that thing last night about with Bill Nye versus Ken Hamm? Man, Bill Nye just rocked it. I mean, seriously. Ken Hamm, all he could pull out was Bible. That's it. Like that was a go all end all to every conversation was Bible. I have this book for you, which proved nothing, but I'll be right back. Gotta go in the store. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, Ken Hamm versus Bill Nye the Science Guy. The debate on creationism and evolution. You know what, either way, it really didn't matter, but Bill Nye freaking rocked it. I mean, when you ask someone for evidence, and the only evidence they can say is, I have this book for you, and nothing concrete, nothing actual provable, or when you show someone evidence of something, and they say, well, that's fake because you weren't there, so you can't know that. If you can repeat something many times, this is how we develop like laws of physics and laws of motion and freaking all that. If you can do something repeatedly and get the same result repeatedly, consistently, without variation, that's pretty concrete proof that in the past it was the same way. Unless you're Ken Hamm, who his idea is, yeah, how that's not possible is because sometimes the rules can change. Yeah, right. Rules can change. Rules that have been around, shown to be around for long periods of time, can change. So yeah, Bill Nye the Science Guy rocked that one. And yeah, when your only evidence is, I have this book for you. The other thing that gets to me is someone in the audience during this debate asked him, okay, what about on like Leviticus, where it talks about touching pork with the bare hands and eating pork and stuff, and also about multiple wives and stuff, where it says you're allowed that in Leviticus. Does he agree with that? And he says, oh, them are just nice stories. So, if you want to take the Bible literally and claim that it is proof of something, then you just destroy your own credibility in everything. When you say, well, I'll take it literally, but I'll pick and choose what I take literally and not. And even though I'm doing this, I want to say this is scientific fact because this book says this happened. But if I don't agree with something, then that's not scientific fact because I say it is, even though it goes against what the book I swear is scientific fact says. That just destroys your entire argument and credibility on the subject. I mean, at least if you're going to argue that the book is absolutely true, at least stick to the book in its entirety. Don't claim this part, that part, this part, that part. If you want to say, yes, they're great stories, with great morals that should probably be followed, that's no problem to me. I mean, but to claim, and also to claim anybody who disagrees with that is basically atheist, like he was doing the entire night. There was no middle ground. It was either you were a young Earth creationist or someone who believes in an older Earth than 6,000 years. We're only 4,000 of it we were around, and the laws changed when we came around somehow. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. He actually gave me a headache because he would talk in circles. He would find 50 million ways to say the exact same thing over and over and over, but he just reworded and tried to use that to claim his point. Yeah, I know, if you repeat a lie enough, you even start to believe it yourself. But I think that, I'm pretty sure that's what Hamm has possibly done, because he really acts like he believes this crap that he spews out his mouth. Even when he has concrete 100% evidence against what he says, he still says, oh, you're wrong, you weren't there, you'll never know, because you weren't there. I'd like to present this one statement to him, though. I've been posting this on Facebook and places elsewhere, but it's a good question. It's a really good question. Okay, if we can't know because we weren't there, then by that same reasoning, the Bible, you can't know that it is the go-to, end-all. You can't say it should be interpreted completely literal and that it is factual because you weren't there. You can only assume that it was actually true, and you can only assume because you weren't there. You didn't see it being written. You don't know how it was written, who wrote it. In truth, no one knows who truly wrote every bit of the Bible. I mean, many parts of it were written at different times. You got the Quran, the Kabbalah, the parts of this and parts of that, interweaving with scrolls they found in multiple locations in the Middle East from so many different people. And then it's been messed with, modified, and changed. You can't use that as a basis for anything, in all truthfulness. Because, I mean, come on. Really. I mean, great, like I said, nothing wrong with it. Great morals in it. Great morals to live by. About, especially in the New Testament, about treating people equally and with respect, and helping someone who's worse off than you, and being kind to each other. It's great. Awesome. But you can't use it as a go-on, end-all, especially when it comes to scientific theory and law and scientific practices. Living your daily life, that's fine, but in science, it has no place. Because it is just like reading a mythology book about Zeus and his family, and that whole pantheon, or the Norse pantheon, or whoever. It's stories to teach lessons. Bill Nye even brought up telephone games. A lot of the stuff before it was put down in written record was oral traditions. When you pass oral traditions from one generation to the next, you seem to get a crossover where this person twists this or exaggerates this or changes this because they didn't agree with it or whatever. So by the time you get down here, okay, so a man got in a fight, got his eyeball stuck, carved out. We'll use our Odin for one. And was hung over a well. He didn't die for somehow, some way, for a long period of time. But in his pain-ridden hallucination, while the blood was rushing to his head, he had a hallucination of different things. Now, someone telling their family history, the next person says he plucked out his own eyeball and cast it in a well of wisdom. Why? Because they're trying to entertain their children or whatever, and make it sound less gory or more honorable or whatever. And he hung himself above the well, and by the time you get centuries down, he's this god who sacrificed his eyeball to the well of knowledge to bring us the Futhark runes, which is basically why Odin has one eye and how the runes were born. I mean, legends are twisted, myth is twisted to make it more grandiose. You can't follow that. I mean, you can use them as stories to teach lessons, but you can't claim they are absolute truth, because they're not. Same with the stories in the Bible. They've been twisted. They've been orally passed down. They've been grandiose. The entirety of it. Because, like I said, they were passed down oral tradition. But, yeah, that's my take on last night's thing, and the problems with it, and the problems with using it as scientific fact. I mean, it's just not reasonable, and to try it that way is borderlining on insanity, in all truthfulness. I mean, you can have them beliefs, just don't let them interfere with scientific research that we can prove is this way or that way, and we can look back and prove that this was this way or that way. Don't let it affect that stuff. Just realize they're stories. Learn from them, but don't state them as absolute fact, because the unintelligent person knows better. Well, I gotta get going, but thank you for watching today. I'll post sometime later, and have a good one. Traveler 6 signing off. Be sure to check out my YouTube site, Hitching Sticks. Subscribe. Check out my blog, hitchingsticks.blogspot.com. And like my Facebook. Also, Hitching Sticks, Sticks, as the name, all one word. And I'll talk to you guys later.